Go with the flow with this. Go with the flow with this. Go with the flow with this. Don't you worry, your leaves won't grow the same, and people might forget your name. Doesn't matter if they do.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Realizing You with Pineapple Grenade by Robyn. Here we live in color. So today we have our colorful artist who is also a beautiful soul and such a hard worker with so much to offer the world, Miss Laila Monet. She is the owner and the creator of Laila Monet Makeup Artistry. She's originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. She does live in the DFW area, and she is ready to serve on every day. I appreciate her coming on. Since we are looking for your following, we ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pineapple Grenade by Robyn. Also, follow us on all handles and visit us at thepineapplegrenade.com. What an exciting time it is, Laila. How are you?
I'm doing well, Robyn. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. I am so
thank you, first of all, Robyn, for having me to come aboard. I totally appreciate it.
Yes, I'm so excited to see you. So just a little bit of flashback. It is Friday night, so I want to recognize our hashtag Flashback Friday. Laila and I met at an event for empowerment of women, and I was actually the last of, I believe there were 9 or 10 of us on an 8-hour initiative. And I was the last to sit in her chair, but she was still an aggressive and strong person when it came to her brushes and the time that she spent with us. It was full of quality. The other thing that I noticed about her is her tenacity. And since then, I have followed her on social media. I'm one of her biggest cheerleaders. She might not know that, but I just love to see her work. And one thing that I remember, Laila, is our conversation while I was in that chair. I said, wow, I'm the last person, but I see that you're still working hard. Aren't you hungry? Are you thirsty? And you said, baby, I'll just eat these chili cheese Fritos until I get out of the door, just a little bit at a time. But this is a test of my tenacity, and I'm full of zeal because this is my craft and I'm going to own it. And I want to take on as many people as possible. Are you still that way today?
Yes, I am. I have never changed, Robyn. I've never changed. And that is so crazy. It's been so long ago, Robyn. I don't even remember it. I remember the chili cheese. I kind of remember that part. And that sounds like me.
You just had a little bit of 25-cent bag.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, I remember. And I remember I was just working on fumes that day. And I think you guys was my very first huge group.
Yes.
I think it was 10 girls, 9 or 10 girls. You're absolutely correct. And you guys were my very first big group. And I was so excited about it. And I knew eventually that was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to happen so soon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In my career, because I kind of just started, really going out and doing, makeup at around that time. I was so ecstatic and excited to work with you guys, and I still am the same way. I've had other large groups that I've done since then, and still the same. I still feel the same way. I want to work because my thing is, if I did amazing on the first person, why would you lose your why would you lose your momentum? You know what I'm saying?
And all the quality loss.
It's your work.
Yes.
Right. It's your work. And I value my work. And I don't want you leaving out saying, okay, well, she did so-and-so like this, and when she got to me, she did this. You know what I'm saying?
Her makeup is crystal clear. Like,
yes,
please book her.
Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, I want everybody to have that experience with Laila Monet. I want everybody to feel beautiful. So I would never slight anybody, because my work is, you're walking out of the door with my work on your face. You know what I'm saying? So it's my way. So I take pride, okay, in my work. So yes, definitely.
So I know a little bit about you, and coming into Laila Monet and your brand. Before that, can you give us a little timeline or a little briefing on what you did in your career and what led up to Laila Monet and you constructing it?
Sure, definitely. Well, like Robyn mentioned earlier, I am from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I moved here from Hurricane Katrina. I moved here in 2005, and during Hurricane Katrina was in 2000. No, I'm sorry, I moved here. Hurricane Katrina was in 2005. We moved here 2006. I had to think about it. I had to go back to it because it's been 16 years? Yes, it's been 16 years. So even though that was a big thing for us, we did lose everything. But I didn't lose my life. My family was still intact. Everybody was still good. I was working in corporate America, of course, at the time. I had an 8-month-old son. I was engaged at the time. I wasn't married to my husband just yet. And the job that I was working at, they said if I would come down to Texas, that they will take care of us, that they would give us a place. They'll show us where we could stay. They would give us money, vouchers, all of this and all that. And they really did. The company that I worked for did a great job with relocating us. Okay. So I stayed and I worked for that company for a couple of years until, I was just unhappy with it because we were struggling. They wasn't paying us that an average person off of the street in Dallas, Texas, they would offer them. They was giving us what we were making in New Orleans, and of course, New Orleans was not making the same that Dallas was making. And it was a struggle because the cost of rent, the cost of living, everything is totally different from what it was in New Orleans. So I decided to leave that place, and I went, of course, to another place. I used to work in billing and collections. I did that for about 15 years. In the midst of all of that, I started realizing that I wanted to become a model, because that's how everything started. I wanted to model. And I've always looked at modeling to whereas no one doesn't look like me, so I'm like, I don't see anybody that looks like me, in this industry. So I want to kind of tap into it, and I want to see, how far I can go, in this industry. During all of that, I had low self-esteem, a lack of confidence, but then you want to model. So I used the modeling as a crutch to help me overcome the lack of confidence and low self-esteem, because I would look at my fellow plus size ladies and I would see how confident they are and they love themselves. And I was pretty much faking the funk, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't feel the way that they felt, but they helped me. I had, oh my God, so many ladies dropped so many gems, to me about being plus size and body conscious and loving who you are regardless of this and that and the other. So needless to say, Laila Monet got her name from that. I came up with the name Laila Monet, and that's a whole nother story in itself. But I wanted to come up with that name, and I was like, I think I'm going to use that as my modeling name. And so I went through modeling. I modeled so far. I think I was modeling for about, at that time, well, now it's been over 10 years, about 10 years since I've been modeling. And it really has taken me to higher heights. I did a little I did a fashion show with Lane Bryant. That was one of my biggest things in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I also, another big thing for me when I, in my modeling career was that I had booked a job for 5 years working with Siobhan Dorsey Design. She's a amazing plus size designer. And matter of fact, she's coming out with some things in May. So you guys just go to www.siobhandorsey.com. I'm pretty much sure she still has that. And she's coming out with some new things in May. I just saw that she put that on Facebook, but I want to shout her out because she had really helped. And she was such a vital and pivotal person in my modeling career.
We'll make sure.
And she gave me a shot. She saw something in me and she gave me that shot. And for 5 years. And I mean, I got paid. So this wasn't like you just do stuff here and there. No, this was a paid contract. I was exclusive with her, you know?
I didn't know.
And yeah, I was exclusive for 5 years. I didn't do anything else because I believed in her for one. And then I believed in her vision. I believed in her work, beautiful clothing. So we had a great time together. And so that was a step of Laila Monet. Then times just started changing. You know, the plus size industry have already blown up. We're all over everything. Everybody knows about plus size, you know, all the big designers like your Tim Gunn, you know, all the, you know, the fashion, you know, people, they're now opening up the doors for plus size women now. So there's not really a fight anymore, you know, because we had to fight for everything back then. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted our voice to be heard as plus size women to let us know that we are just as good as a skinny girl. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everything now, it's all even kind of, you know, that the way I've seen how everything has really changed and evolved, you know, it started changing. I've always had I call it a hidden talent. You know, God gives us many gifts, right? So one of my gifts is to, I believe, is to motivate, to inspire. Didn't know that was my gift because, you know, how you going to motivate somebody, but then you have low self-esteem, then you have a lack of confidence and things of that nature. But
you got to carry a testament, right?
Right. So it's like, how can I do that? But that was one of them. And another hidden talent, because I started doing that as well. I started doing motivational speaking in the midst of me doing the plus size modeling, because at the time, young girls, of course, didn't see, you know, plus size models, you know, as a thing, right? So I would go to different churches. I did a couple speaking engagements on a large platform. It was called the Fabulous Female Expo for young girls. I mean, it was amazing. It was really good. And that was an era where we were trying to get young girls to love who they are, regardless of what social media says and things of that nature, you know. And I've noticed today in 2021, they don't do that too much anymore with these young girls. I really hope that they bring it back. And I have someone that wants me to speak to young girls. And I was like, ooh, these young girls today is a little bit different than the girls that will accept me, you know what I'm saying? So, but definitely, that was one of my platforms as well to motivating. And then here we go on to the makeup. So after that was another hidden talent of mine. I just started, I've loved doing makeup on myself. Loved it. And then my husband saw into that. He was just like, you know what? That's passion. And I was like, passion? How do you passion? What you mean modeling is my passion?
I have no passion. Look, nothing.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Is my passion.
I've been doing this for years.
Like to do. I mean, yeah. I'm like, I like to you know, I like to do my makeup, but that's for me. That's yeah, you know what I mean? That's
I enhance myself. Yes.
Yeah. So, but modeling is my passion. I believe that. And then he had to explain to me the difference between passion and just doing something. You know, and so he saw something in me. And he saw something that I didn't believe in myself. And so he was the main one that kept telling me that, have you ever thought about doing other people's makeup? And I looked at him and I'm like, what? Like, no, because I'm like, I'm modeling and you know, I know several different makeup artists because of course I used to hire them to do my makeup for my photo shoots, you know. I very seldom did my makeup on myself, you know, for photo shoots. I've always wanted a makeup artist to come and actually do it because I for one, I would learn. I would learn. I would listen and I would watch and what they would do. So then I would try to go home and I would try to mimic what they did. They never knew that though, because remember, that was my hidden talent. So, I was at then. So now I decided to say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead on and I'm gonna do it. He mentioned to me about me doing the makeup and things of that nature. And, I kept talking myself out of it until one day I said, you know what, I'm gonna just do it. I felt this urge. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Him and I think we were eating lunch together somewhere. And I said, I'm gonna do it. And he was just like, you really, you do it? I said, I think I'm gonna do it. And I never forget the first paid client that I had was a first lady. I'm like, I got somebody. I said, okay, God, I know you got this gift for me, but I'm like, I wanted to do like my sister or one of my friends. Yeah. You giving me a woman that's going to stand before thousands of people, hundreds of people with my work on her face, and she has to speak, she has to talk or whatever. And you want me to do that? Yeah.
That's specifically designed. Your talent is for you. You do pristine work, like pristine work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Clear.
Girl, I was just like, but I say, I got it. I did well. And another thing too, I've had some amazing mentors. Riska Crowder, well, her name is Riska Johnson. I'm sorry. Riska Johnson was one of the ones that really took me under her wing. She was my original makeup artist when I was modeling. And so I asked her if she could at least mentor me or show me the ropes. And she accepted me with open arms. And I was so afraid. I mean, my hands were literally shaking before I texted her, to ask her for help. And I thought sure she was going to shun me down or like, or don't answer. Yeah. And she's not a mean person at all. She really isn't, but it was the insecurity that I had. And I really believe it was the enemy trying to stop what God was, because he already knew, and if I could talk her out of it, she gonna lose it all. You know what I'm saying?
Anything we pray about is heard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
And so I talked to her and she, like I said, she accepted me with open arms. I also met another amazing mentor of mine that I love deeply. And both of those ladies are very special in my life and I love them. Is Bridget Washington. She was one of the ones that have really poured into me and, really, were able to tell me how, to get into the industry, the business side of the industry, because it's a whole thing then doing makeup. That's one thing. And learning product and skin and, but the business side of makeup, was the one taught me a lot about that. Risk has told me some nuggets here or there, but Bridget was really the one to really show me, different sides of the makeup world. And also she introduced me into celebrity, like how to do celebrity work, high-end clients, things of that nature. Then also I started getting into doing production, and stage play makeup, those doors were opening for me as well. And I had to learn as I go, so that's how I guess it just started blossoming. When I look back over since, because it's been 8 years now since I have been doing makeup as a business, 8 years. But full time outside leaving corporate, it has been 2 years. And just look, the things that I've accomplished, there are some things that an average person that wants or an aspiring, I'll put it to you like this, an aspiring, I'm trying to say that word right, makeup artist would want, to do. They don't reach what I've reached in those couple of years. And the person that had me to realize that was my husband, because I was always the one that's hard on myself and saying, I don't feel like I've made it, or I feel like I should be further than this because I've seen work like this and I know I could do 10 times better than that, but why they didn't pick me, and that was something,
the right person, the right event, the right spot, that sweet spot.
Yes. And then another thing too is what God has for you, Robyn, is for you.
Yes.
So what if he would have given me what I wanted at that time and I would have jacked it up? You see what I'm saying? And I would have probably made a bad name for myself or whatever. See, God knows what's best for you, and it's all in his timing. So yeah, you may think, oh, I should be here now by now. But then God is like, if I put you there, will you actually really make a difference? You know, will you really make your mark? You know, and I'm so glad he didn't give me what I asked for at that time. Because if he would have, like I said, I really don't think I will be where I am at today. You know, and every now and then I still feel like, hey, I don't have this and I don't have that. So, and then I have to always go back and take a look at myself, you know, and I have to take a look at myself and see and say, you know, lately you've really accomplished a whole lot, you know, in the career, and you really have not been doing makeup that long. Yeah, honestly,
you have not.
You know,
it's been around the time that I met you that you started, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's when I started doing other people, and
That
that's been like
time.
about what, 10 years, 8 years? Yeah, that's all I'll say, about 8 years. And I've been doing makeup for 10 years total, you know, because of course I was doing makeup on myself. So that's why I tell people forever, because I really was, you know, doing makeup on me first. But when I started doing other people, it's been like about 10 to 8 years or whatever. So like I said, that's not that long. I've known ladies who've been in the beauty industry, like one amazing makeup artist I work with this week. She's been doing it over 20 years, you know, and so, you know, and you know, some of the things, and like I said, so many different achievements, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody to do a celebrity. It's, even though you want that, but then when you get it, you be like, it was not cracked up what I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I could care less about that, you know, but you want that stardom. You want that, I want to be recognized, or I want my work to be on someone, just to, you know, you want that. But what if that's not for you? Then what you're going to devalue? You're going to devalue who you are, or you're going to devalue your work just because it's not sitting on a Megan Good, a Cardi B. You feel me?
You're so right. That's just like, we should be able to collaborate and share knowledge amongst each other. And, you know, as women and people, we should be able to look to each other and say, hey, I can use you as a resource. No sweat. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know what our calling is for a particular season, you know.
That's it.
We don't know what's ahead of us.
Don't know at all.
And
I love what you said about seasons, because that is so true. We all live in different seasons. Once I had to really learn about the seasons and what seasons are, when you look at it spiritually, oh girl, I mean, everything changed for me. And because I didn't look at it like that, you know, I always looked at, okay, well, it's just not for me. But it's not your season, baby. That's what it is. You can't just say it's not for you. It could very well be for you, but just not at this time. And I am a firm believer of that, because it has happened. When I thought, you know, like I said, I never thought I would be able to do celebrity. I've done Angie Stone's makeup before. Girl, that just
what a legend.
Yeah, that just fell in my lap. I was like, oh my God, what?
Yes.
You know, and yes, like, where did this come from? And I never thought that I would do this celebrity. I prayed for it, and I wanted to experience it. You know, I didn't want to be quote unquote a celebrity makeup artist, because that was never my goal, because I'm one of those people, I'm not a one-trick pony. I want to be able to learn it all. I want to be able to do bridal makeup. I want to be able to do avant-garde makeup. I want to be able to do editorial. I want to be able to do FX makeup, airbrush makeup. I want to learn it all, because there's so many different wheels to makeup. So many different things. There's so many, I mean, just so many. And then there's so many ways to do it as well. So I just didn't want to be stuck in a bubble. And that's something about, and I believe it's because I am a creative. You know what I'm saying? I love to create, and I just can't be stuck in a box. And I'm willing to learn. I'm open to learn. I want to learn. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just where,
So I wanted to ask you a question in terms of, you know, you wanted to have a variance of skill sets. I know that over the past 2 years, you've become certified in different areas of beauty. Do you want to talk about those different areas and what you specialize in when you're talking about your most, I guess, lucrative path that you take when it comes to makeup and beauty?
Okay. Definitely, I can do that. When I decided to become a makeup artist, in the beginning, I just wanted to do makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to do your face, Robyn. I just want to do your face, girl, and your face. You know what I'm saying? Just do makeup.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. But when I realized that I like this, I really like this, you know, I like driving to my clients. I love the way my clients feel. I love the way God imparts in me to pray for them sometimes whenever he says it, you know, because like I said, it's more than just doing makeup. It's a ministry. When I started really realizing that it is a true full-blown ministry, I was like, okay, God, we got to get serious about this. But I want to be able to get serious about it, and I want to be able to bless your people. But how can I do that and, you know, survive? You know what I mean? Make a living out of this and not work a quote unquote 9 to 5. So I started doing a lot of different research. It took years and years because I've been ready. You know, I've been ready to jump, you know, the workforce, but I had fear too. I'll do it because, but it was such a urgency for me, and I felt like I want to leave because it just certain things just was happening on my 9 to 5, to whereas it was just like pushing me out the door, like, you know what, I'm burnt out. I've been doing this over 15 years, and I just don't have that love, you know, to continue on to work. So I decided to look more into bridal makeup. I've had some great, I want to call them vessels, because that's exactly what they were. They were vessels to lead and guide me to the right path. Designer friend does. I mean, he's a designer. He's a I believe a talent agent. He has a management. I mean, talent, because he manages actors, actresses, models, and everything. His name is Willie Johnson. Willie is amazing. Willie was the one that opened me up to put me back, because he knew that I did modeling and all of that stuff, and he knew I was doing makeup. Willie helped me out and put me back in that arena with fashion shows and things of that nature. And whenever he had something like he need models, you know, for makeup, because they're doing some type of talent search and things of that nature. So Willie opened up those doors to get me back in that scene, to get me seen, to get my work seen by big people from LA, people, you know, from in the DFW that had businesses, mobile bridal services that were working and making, you know, the money to sustain, because they were living, you know, they wasn't living a 9 to 5. They were working their job, their makeup business. So he introduced me to a company that I do freelance work for, and it's called Bright Beauty. And they are an amazing company. I've been working with them now for a year, and we do hair and makeup on demand. It's an on-demand bridal service. And so you can either book us for us to come to you, or you can book us for weddings, and we travel all around DFW, you know, I mean, for whenever you need it, we're doing it. And so that was something that I got into, really introduced me to the owner. And she told me to come in. I had to audition for it. I also had to give a resume. That was something that I didn't have. And because I was like, a makeup artist with a resume? Yes. So I'm like, I just started. What am I supposed to say? I mean, I know how to do a resume for corporate.
Let me show you your face. Look.
I did X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but I did. I
also felt that way in modeling too. You know, when you first started, you're like, you're not going to accept me? I can walk.
Right. So I did my resume, and they, you know, saw they loved my work, and of course, you know, I'm there today. You know, they accepted me. So that was one of the things I did. Also, you know, you always have other sources of income. That's another thing. Always remember, I just didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I'm a hustler. That's just what it is. When I say hustler, I believe in working. I believe in, you know, getting my coin.
And you gotta have your coin even in the midst of a pandemic. You got to have it.
Definitely. So I started doing some customer service work on my downtime. And my downtime is like when wedding season is not, you know, on and popping. I would do my customer service work.
Okay.
And even when I am, going, I'll still try to, do a little bit of it on the side, So at least that's, it's not a whole lot of money, but it's something. You know what I'm saying? Also, I have done my certification. I got my certification in micro shading.
Yeah.
Most of people know it by microblading, but microblading and micro shading are two different things. Okay. So I got certified the year I got fired. And I just got my certification. So I'm like, how you gonna fire me? And I just got my certification. I need to get people under my belt first. Right. You know what I'm saying? Before I can leave off the job. But God had a plan. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So, I got my certification that year, started doing my microblading. It was a huge success. To this day, I'm still like, when I go back and I look at my files, I'm like, man, I did a lot to say that I just started. I did a lot of people. And at that time, I didn't feel like I did enough, because I'm like, okay, I know with this particular business, it's a very lucrative business. You can make at least $10,000 a month, but you don't get there at the beginning. It takes years. Yes. And that's just something that I didn't realize. I just saw, $10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm ready. Come on. I'm about to learn this. And nothing really happened. So it takes years for you to get to that mark. You have to really practice. You have to really study the skill. So I felt like I needed more. Okay. So I took another certification in the same field, but with a different instructor. And I learned so much more, because each instructor gives something different. Wow. Not saying that the first instructor was bad, because she was not. The fact that you took a chance
to go back,
Yeah.
So many people don't want to start from that
right, and spend the money, because yes, because it is expensive.
Yes.
But I knew that there was more. I knew I was right there. I just need this. She needs to tell me this so I can get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what happened. And as soon as I took that class, and it just opened up so much for me. And now, oh my goodness. I mean, I'm just learning so much more. That's the lucrative part of it. If I want to be, to get into this business, to leave corporate America and to make the money, there should be, you shouldn't just only be just doing makeup. There should be other services that you should offer in your business. And that was one of them. I also have a certification in tattoo removal.
Wow.
I've taken that. So that's another part of my service.
Does it always leave like that gooey spot?
It is a saline solution that I use. Okay. So as far as gooey,
well, where it's like discolored and it kind of looks discolored always.
Because we only can lighten it. Now, with a solution, because I think in the state of Texas, you have to have maybe some type of license or whatever to do laser. That's something else. That's on more of the doctor side. Okay. But to use saline, you can definitely do that. Because it's a saline solution. It's not acid. We're not burning the skin. This is all natural. It goes through the process of osmosis, and that's something normal your body does. And it just lifts it. It lifts it. We can't remove it totally, but we can lighten it. Yeah. Okay. And if you want, you can put something else on top of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of. So I've done that. I have another service. It is tooth gems. Tooth gems was really big back in the day. A lot of people used to, put golds, the gold teeth. That's considered like, dealing with the mouth and tooth gems and all that stuff. Then, but with the tooth gem, it's like a diamond, like a zirconia, cubic zirconia, or it really what I use is Swarovski crystals. And you put it on the tooth, put it on one of your teeth. And so then, I started doing that, and it's popular, like I said, in certain states. I did offer it here in Texas, and I had a couple people ask about it, but it's really not that big here in Texas. But that is something that I do offer, So, and it's going to be some more things that I'm probably going to come up. I'm thinking about doing teeth whitening.
Well, I think that you should. I think that all of the things that you mentioned with regard to the expansion of beauty are necessary, especially in our fast fashion world. So we want to thank you so much tonight for coming on. And I want to ask you, as we are still in our pandemic experiencing COVID-19, can you tell our viewers just what it means to you and what it should mean to others to be able to build out of crisis?
Okay. I would say to build out of a crisis, definitely first, keep God first.
Yes.
Also, I would say never, like I said, keep just one egg in a bucket. Always have, like I said, extra forms of income. Mm-hmm. Don't, okay, well, I only work, at Chase Bank. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to work at Chase Bank. Because I've done that for years. I've never looked at other streams of income. For 15 years, I only did just that. You know what I'm saying? Until I started getting more into, I was doing the modeling. Of course, I was getting paid for that, but that wasn't like an everyday thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was like maybe on a month, or whatever basis, or whenever she needed me, when she would have things out. But it wasn't all the time. Mm-hmm. I would say work your Chase Bank if you got to work your Chase Bank. And then also, if need be, work something that you really love. Like if you like to make, let's say, flower arrangements. Some people like to make flower arrangements, and you can sell that. Mm-hmm. Especially in the midst of a pandemic. Oh my God, you better be very creative because you may not have that Chase Bank job. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in the midst of a pandemic, what I did was I really started working that, I told you guys that customer service job. Mm-hmm. Oh, honey, I was doing that almost full time. Yeah. Because when I got all those cancellations, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody canceled because they were shutting everything down in the weddings and, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I had to pay those people their money back. Mm-hmm. So, I have to, okay, I'm taking money out. Now I have to replenish that money back. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get to start. Right. Mm-hmm. And thank God I did not get into debt because I was smart enough to make sure I had that other job underneath me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I didn't want to let it go. I worked it for a whole year. And I was like, I didn't want to let it go because I knew that it still was helping. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough to sustain me, to whereas I can make ends meet. Mm-hmm. So I could do ends. And remember, in the midst of all of that, even in the pandemic, y'all, I'm telling you, God is still good. Yes. Because I still was getting clients, y'all. I still was getting clients in the midst of a pandemic. So I had my customer service job and I have, my Laila Monet makeup artistry business. And that would help, mend everything together. I did not get no PPP, the protection or whatever. I didn't sign up for any of that. And God still blessed me in the midst of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're like totally creative. And it's so many things out here that we can do, and another thing I want to drop to Robyn, don't think that, like for instance, I do makeup. Mm-hmm. And let's say you do makeup, Robyn, and don't look at it and say, okay, well, I'm not going to get as many clients because, Robyn do makeup too. She may get more clients than me, or the makeup market is so saturated. Mm-hmm. that I'm not going to get anybody coming to me. Look at that bread aisle. Mm-hmm. Look at that bread aisle and look at everybody makes the same product. The same product. Uh-huh. You got bunny bread, you got Wonder bread, you got, so many different breads. It's all bread. Yes. White bread, wheat bread, potato bread. It's bread. So you don't ever, and that's something that I had to realize, oh my God, that was such like a huge epiphany for me, because I was like, oh my God, I will never say again that this market is saturated, or I'm not gonna sell this because they over there selling the same thing that I have. People buy what they want. Yes. People buy for the individual. Mm-hmm. I know people that tell me, Laila, I don't even wear makeup. But when I see you wear makeup, you make me want to wear makeup. And I'll go and buy makeup just because And I'm like, you don't even wear makeup. And like, because they like the person. You know what I'm saying? They like the person. They you know, I maybe I make it look easy for them or whatever. I don't know. But I've had people tell me that. And I'm like, that's so crazy. So don't ever think that, okay, this is not good enough for me because it's just too much. No, baby, do your gift. If this is the gift that God has given you, definitely hone in on it, work it, cultivate it, grow it, you know, and continue to just keep striving, because if God, whatever God has for you is for you. I don't care if Jimmy or Timmy over here have it, it looks way better or whatever. God is going to give you something even better than Timmy or Jimmy.
Yes.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. So you don't stop looking, and I'm saying that for me. This is blessing me.
Yeah.
You know, stop looking over here at this, and that, and the other. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm about to just bring it on, because I believe this is gonna help somebody. Mm-hmm. I got in my feelings when I was on set at production because I wanted to do Chrisette Michelle's makeup. Mm-hmm. I wanted, what? I can't do it. And I was like, okay, God, this didn't happen to me before. I done got snubbed again from doing a celebrity. I'm like, right there in a celebrity. I had an opportunity to do Jacqueline Carr's makeup. I had an opportunity to do Tasha Cobb's makeup at a play. And they had one of them, I think one of them bought their own makeup artist award. And then the other one, somebody else did the makeup. Another makeup artist that was there did the makeup.
So let's talk about that just a little bit. Before we go, guys, Laila Monet has been enlisted to support the Potter's House team, Bishop T.D. Jakes Church. They are actually filming an upcoming showcase.
Yes, it's a movie. For Easter.
For Easter. And she has been selected very graciously, as she is, to be a part of that. And I'm so excited for you.
Yes.
What is it about the nature of this particular project that you can tell your viewers that is to come, or for them to be expecting?
Oh my God, this particular project is like, this was from what I've heard. And I was told that this was a project that Bishop envisioned. Mm-hmm. Bishop, you know, T.D. Jakes visioned this particular project. The name of it is called The Gift in the Garden. Mm-hmm. And it stems from, in the Bible, when Mary Magdalene, I think it goes all the way back to when, of course, you know, Jesus died and he rose. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to where Mary Magdalene visited the tomb. Mm-hmm. And Jesus was out. The ladies who visited the tomb, they were the first ones to come and saw that, you know, the body was gone and things of that nature. So this is where the story all unfolds. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, and this is from what I've saw, because, you know, it's, you know, with movies, there's so many different facets and, you know, mm-hmm. things about movies. And so I believe this is going to be an amazing, amazing production. I mean, it looked so real. The place where we were in Weatherford, Texas. Uh-huh. There is a place out there in Weatherford called Capernaum Studios.
Wow.
Yes. Uh-huh. And it is a large land. I mean, we had to be driven in trolleys, like little carts, like how it is on a studio, like, you know, mm-hmm. when you're at like Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, they got to be driven around set in these little trolleys, these little carts. Mm-hmm. So we were the same. It was amazing. It was so much fun. I mean, the cast, you know, majority of the people that were there, they were church members. They weren't your A-list actors, but they killed it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, these are people, I believe some of them are aspiring actors, you know, mm-hmm. so they're good. They're good. I mean,
how does it feel having been a part of that?
I'm sorry.
How does it feel having been a part of that?
Oh my God, it is humbling. That's number one. I gotta say it's so humbling. The experience, it's unbelievable just to be behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm so used to going to the movies and watching the movie.
Yes.
But behind the scenes and seeing it all, it clicked to me on day 2. Mm-hmm. that this is going to be a movie. I was like, wait a minute. Because see, I'm so used to, this is not my first time doing a Potter's House production. Mm-hmm. And, you know, to me, the Potter's House always make everything out of a big old thing, because that's the Potter's House. You know mm-hmm. what I'm saying? So because of COVID, we were not inside of the church anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, that this was going to be like a little stage play.
Mm-hmm.
That they were it's just going to be a little play, because they always have plays for Easter. They always do a play for Easter, or either for Christmas, they'll do a play.
Mm-hmm.
And, but this time, Bishop had an envision where he wanted to talk about the garden, and he wanted to preach from the garden in front of the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted them to, I guess, to build a set, but they found this place.
Mm-hmm.
And this place was so much more than building a set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, amazing. I mean,
it sounds like it's going to be powerful.
Yeah, very powerful. Let me let you know the actors and actresses that are going to be starring in it. We have Chrisette Michelle. Y'all know she's an amazing. I'm sorry.
No longer
For
here.
a long time. And but she, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I think this is her very first acting role.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, she has acted before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but she, oh my gosh, she is such a natural.
Yeah.
Such a natural, such a beautiful soul.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have Devon Franklin. I've always followed Devon because I love his prayers.
Mm-hmm.
He's a praying man. Man, he prays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I loved him because of, his prayers and things of that nature. And of course, I love his wife, Megan Good. I'm always a huge fan of, her work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing Jesus.
Wow.
Yes. I said that too. I was like, what?
And it'll be a different representation, I'm sure.
Yes.
That we get to see. So
yes.
That's exciting.
And then also there's another actor. He's another like A-list, I guess, actor. He's from I believe his first name is Marvin. I don't know his last name per se,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't watch the CW show called Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that he is the villain of Black Lightning. So, and from what I heard, Black Lightning is a really good movie, but that's like his latest project that
who is he
done.
playing?
And he plays, he's going to play John. Yes,
Oh,
he's going to
wow.
play, no, I'm sorry, he's going to play Peter.
Well, such
He's
a
gonna be
switch.
Peter.
So
Mhm.
you'll be able to see the dynamic there, for him switching into different roles.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another actor, his name is Orlando Valentino, and I believe he's acted on a whole lot of different things. He's done commercials, and I've seen him on some things and everything too. And he is playing John.
Wow.
And so then there's another young lady. She's a really good actor. Her name is Kanisha. And she's done a lot of different acting roles and stuff. And she is playing Woman One. And they call her Woman, they didn't give her a name, but she's one of the women that's going to be at the tomb and things of that nature. And she has, a couple of speaking roles as well. So, and then you have your singers. We have Jabari Johnson. He's an amazing gospel singer. He's singing songs. Of course, Chrisette Michelle she's doing some singing, got her own songs, and
I can't wait to hear it.
Praise and worship. Yes, yes.
The
some of the praise and
soundtrack.
worship leaders, they're actually playing. Yes, it's going to be amazing. It's the production is going to be really well. I hope it's going to be really well put together. The movie production team that they got drove in from Nashville, because I asked. I was like, did y'all fly?
I'm originally from
They said,
Nashville.
"No, we drove down." I'm sorry?
I'm originally from Nashville. That's cool.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome. Yeah, good deal. So yeah, honey, they had it all together, and I was able to see how it's going to look through the camera lens.
Mhm.
When I saw how oh my God. I mean, I was like, this is
You
how
don't
it's on
know.
TV.
You don't know until you see people doing it. Of that craft.
Yes.
The expertise that it takes. Like what we see on TV has no representation of what they're doing behind the scenes, because it's amazing what they do. It's
Right.
amazing.
Yes.
It's very, very amazing in film. I just can't believe some of the graphics sometimes.
It is.
But
it is.
to say that you were out in Weatherford, yes.
Yes. It should be out Easter Sunday, I believe. They're going to probably play it during the Easter Sunday service, online, for at the Potter's House, Dallas. And, you never know. They may have it other places too, because like I said, it's a really nice production. I don't think they're going to just bottle it back up. They may put it on the big screen or something, or maybe put it on one of these streaming services. You know how they go. You know what I'm saying? So you just really never know. But I'm grateful because I'm like, oh my God, my work, it's going to be shown, because the days we were doing it, we had to like certain days I had to do, X, Y, Z, I had to do this lady, that lady. But then there was some days that we had to swap people. And the challenge comes because, like I said, every makeup artist is different. Every makeup artist applies makeup differently. Every makeup artist uses different products. So one of the makeup artists did this young lady, but I had to do that same young lady. So you have to build a good rapport. And that's what I believe, that it is so imperative and important that you can work together with someone.
Right.
And, and so this particular
to make them look like they got the same makeup too. Like,
right. We gel together. So when you're on production, you really have to make sure continuity stays the same, because the same scene is going to happen tomorrow. So, once we break for the day, she's still got to come back tomorrow. We got to shoot the same scene, but maybe she's doing something else in that scene. So her look has to still be the same. I can't say, oh, I'm going to put blue on today, but yesterday she had red on. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you have to keep that balance. And there were times where we had to switch foundations, because I was like, what you put on her, let me go ahead and use what you use, because, I wanted to still stay the same. Now I was still able to do the other little stuff, but when it comes to which we actually use for skin, that's where that becomes a big dilemma. Now I could have probably mixed some stuff together to get that exact color, but why not ask, hey, let me use the same foundation that you know what I'm saying? So that's how it worked. And so all I had to do pretty much was dust them in, kind of powder them to make them look non-oily. So I was able to do that for Devon Franklin and, all of the other, men that was in it. And so, and it was amazing. It was great. It really was. Everybody, we had an amazing time. And after it was over, Devon, oh my God, he just dropped so many great gems. And I'm going to tell you one good gem that he dropped, because I prayed, because there was so much going on that day. So much, we had so many side conversations about our testimonies and just about God alone. I was so full. You hear me? When I say full, like not full from eating, spiritually full. I got so fed, because I was like, these creatives were amazing people, and we all have the same like mind, which is being creative and loving the same God. And what he done for you, he can do this for me, and things of that nature. But the one thing Devon left us with that stood out for me was there should be some points out of your day where you can take at least 10 minutes and put the phone down, put the TV, turn the TV off, get off of Facebook, get off of Instagram, and just be quiet. Just sit. So you can hear. Because sometimes God could be telling you something that you've been praying for, and he could have been telling you over and over again, but you missed it because you're not still, you're not quiet, you're not listening. So that right there, I really, because I prayed it before, because when I was listening to Devon, I was like, okay, Lord, give me some, I want to be able to leave this, because it was so much, it was so rich. And I'm like, I want to be able to remember something. And that's what he told me to remember. So I feel like he was telling me to do that, to slow down, give me your time. And 10 minutes, Devon said it doesn't have to be long, just 10 minutes of your time, and just listen to God and listen to what he has for you. He could be telling you your next biggest project. But because you're so hustle and bustle on the go, I got this to do, I got that to do, I got that to do, you miss it, So yeah.
Well, I'm so thankful tonight that you have taken some time with us, Laila. I just want to also just recognize you again for the person that you are, and the amount of talent and the amount of courage and empowerment that you pour into our world daily. I'm so thankful that you listened to your husband and realizing you and created Laila Monet Makeup Artistry LLC. I want everybody to go follow her on all of her handles. We thank God for creating you. And
thank you.
You're welcome. And also, everyone, I think just reflecting on the conversation tonight, we learned that in the midst of crisis, you still have something to do.
Yes.
One of the running topics on yesterday was to keep going, but to know that you still have something to do is encouragement in itself. Our last mistake is our best teacher, but it permits us to keep going. It's such a gift. And I believe Laila herself, she exudes living in color because she continues to forge on in the amazing work that she does. So was there anything that you wanted to add for us tonight before we have a great weekend?
I just want you guys, or anyone who's watching, I really want you to just pray and ask God, what is it that he has for you to do to edify the kingdom?
Yes.
Whatever it is, your gift, your talent, even if you don't know Christ, just pray. Pray and ask him, what is it that he would have for you to do for your talent, for your livelihood? If you're not happy, if you're not comfortable with where you at, let him know that. Also, sit still and just be quiet and listen. And sometimes put away the Facebook, put away, and I'm saying that for me too, because, put away the Facebook, put away the Instagram, and just hear him out and just listen and follow your heart, follow your dreams, and never take no for an answer. Never take no for an answer. Well, that's it.
I'm sending you virtual hugs. We have not seen each other in so long. It's been a blessing as always. Yeah. I want to just challenge everyone to do as Laila said and just sit still sometimes because the race is for us. It's not for those around you. It's for you. YOLO is for real. You only live your life. So
that's right. Yes.
Again, for Pineapple Grenade by Robyn, we thank you, and also for Realizing You interviews. We want you to comment, share, like, and also turn on your notification bells for every updated video. We want to thank you again, Laila, and also want to wish you well in everything that you do. Y'all have a great night.
Go with the flow with this. Go with the flow with this. Go with the flow with this.
Don't you worry, two leaves won't grow the same, and people might forget your name. Doesn't matter if they do.